Now back to Inside West Virginia Politics with Mark Curtis.
And welcome back to Inside West Virginia Politics. We continue our discussion of the legislature coming back to Charleston this week. I'm joined by Jason Huffman. He is the State Director for Americans for Prosperity, the West Virginia chapter. Great to have you on the program.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Mark.
You and I will be crossing paths in the hallway at the Capitol this week, and it's going to be a busy time. Americans for Prosperity, in general, what do you guys, what's your philosophy? What do you stand for before we get into specific legislation?
Well, so I think generally speaking in West Virginia, the good old boy system has basically run our state for a very long time, and it's left so many West Virginians behind. And sort of a top-down situation in which individuals have barriers to their prosperity, their being able to reach their full potential that are really standing in the way. And what we want to do is eliminate those barriers and work with anybody to do so. Let's
talk about some of the specific reforms you want to see passed this year. There's issues with occupational license and so forth. Explain the importance of that and what you want done.
Well, so again, across the board, we have a very protectionist set of regulatory structure and law in the state that's meant to really keep out economic diversity and competition. And we think that is holding people back. And what we want to do, especially in the licensure front, is take a look at all licensure. Because essentially what we're looking at is these laws are well intentioned, right? But at some point, what they essentially will do is just intentionally keep people out of the marketplace, keep honest folks from being in a certain occupation. And so what we want to do is review all of that licensure through a lens of best practices and least restrictive means. Because West Virginia is the 14th most onerously licensed state in the country, and our fees and training times are much higher than even the surrounding states.
Because you hear people from both parties say, West Virginia is open for business. We want folks to move here, branch out, start up businesses in West Virginia or move their headquarters to West Virginia. Are these things roadblocks to making that happen, to truly attracting businesses from other states?
Absolutely. What we're saying with our regulatory climate is we don't want you here. Don't come to West Virginia. And we have to stop that because we're the only state to have lost population since the 50s. We're in a demographic winter where more folks are passing away or leaving than being born or moving here. And we have to change that. We've got to make it so people can come home from out of state. And the way we do that is, our legislative agenda is built around doing just that. We have a path to prosperity agenda that we believe are proven solutions to reverse that course. Things like occupational licensing reform, again, eliminating those barriers so people can have a meaningful working occupation in the state. Things like criminal justice reform. We're spinning our wheels on criminal justice. The laws that we have on the books simply aren't working. And much like President Trump did on the federal level, we have to make it so that people who have served their time have a second chance and are able to get out of this cycle of poverty and recidivism.
This is a fascinating subject because your group, if I'm not mistaken, is more conservative leaning. Yet you see conservatives at the Capitol and liberals coming together on these second chance legislation bills, trying to get people's records expunged, trying to get them drug treatment, trying to get back into the workplace. Why such a bipartisan effort on this? This fascinates me.
Well, I think, and we'd like to see that across the board in various issue areas. Our philosophy is this. We are willing to work with anybody for a good idea. And we don't care about partisanship. We're a nonpartisan organization. We want to just get the job done. And we feel like uniting people is a better approach to doing that than being divisive. And so criminal justice is an excellent example of doing that. People from across the political spectrum have an understanding that the way we're doing things in criminal justice isn't working. And what we've done is we've again stuck people in a cycle of poverty, and we can't do that. People deserve a second chance.
Yeah, we have a lot of jobs open in the state that we can't fill right now, and from an economic standpoint, a lot of people think that would be good. Another point of controversy, though, is the business inventory tax. This is where a lot of liberals and conservatives part ways on their bipartisanship. Do you guys favor repealing the business inventory tax, and how would you replace that revenue?
We are actually more in favor of comprehensive tax reform, something that would affect every West Virginian by putting more money back in their pocket. I think that there's sort of a culture in the government at this point in time, not so much in the legislature, but I'd say more in the executive, that essentially higher revenue is better. But that just means you're taking more money out of people's pockets. And so what we have to do is take money and put it back into West Virginians' pockets. Again, much like President Trump did on the federal level with the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, we favor something that's much more comprehensive than repealing a tax here or there.
All right, we're going to be really busy at the Capitol this year. Real quick, where can folks find out more information? What's the website?
The website is afpwvpath.com.
Okay, Jason Huffman, he's the state director for Americans for Prosperity in West Virginia. We're going to see a lot of him during the legislative session at the Capitol. Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, thanks, Mark.
And it's going to be a busy time, so we'll see you down at the Capitol. We'll have more of Inside West Virginia Politics after this break.